Okay. So the audio is rolling and the video rolling. So
yes.
Okay. All right, here we go. Welcome to the Immersive Lens, the podcast exploring the technologies reshaping how we live, work, and learn.
From AI and virtual reality to creative media and design, we're diving into the tools and ideas shaping our connected world.
My name is Paul Engin. Join us as we uncover the people and ideas driving the next wave of interactive experiences.
And I'm Dave Ghidiu. This is the Immersive Lens.
Dave, what's going on?
All right. I want to. Have you seen Google's new software? It's called Stitch.
I have not, and you've been keeping it secret from me.
It's top secret.
Yeah. So
right.
What is it?
Google Stitch is for designers, so it's built for people like you. And you can go to stitch.withgoogle.com and you could give it a URL or some PDFs, or well, you have to feed it something. Actually, I guess you don't need to feed it something. You can start from scratch.
Okay.
And so I gave it my website and I said, this is my current website. Can you reimagine this as if I were a fashion designer, and not only just, the aesthetics of it, but I want to be known as the top 10 fashion designers in the Finger Lakes region. And it will regeneralize or refactor your website, and you can to be, in this case, like the number 10 fashion. So it understands that what I'm trying to do, and it understands all the information from my current website, and I can change the colors and the themes, and I can export it as code. So it's a really interesting way to use the design power of AI to reimagine things that you either already have and you need to brush up, or just start from scratch.
Wait, so this is going to recreate your website?
It will give me ideas. It will give me different templates. And then, much like any other AI tool, I can converse with it and say, oh, I like what you did here, but can you tweak this other thing because I don't have textiles on my website, so I want to add them. Can you imagine what it would look like if I were offering different custom textiles? And so you work with AI specifically in the name of design for websites and apps.
So then can you download, you can?
You can download the code, and it's unclear to me if it will do everything you need, or if you still need to touch the code up and change the names or whatever. But I imagine my next step because this just came out today.
Okay.
My next step is going to be, I'm going to download it. And if it doesn't do what I want it to do, then I'm going to import that into Gemini 3 and vibe code the rest of it and say, hey, here's my existing infrastructure, because I'm familiar with that interface and I can change things granularly.
Gotcha. And so is this just for websites, or can you do it with can you create mobile apps or games, or is it just more like an app for a standard application?
I'm still exploring it, so I can't answer that, but I can answer that a lot of apps can be websites that are repackaged. Well, you know that because you can use different tools to repackage it. So you can at least do lightweight apps, but I'm excited to kind of see where this goes. One thing that I really like about it is just the way with which you can interface with it and annotate things and circle things right on the thumbnail and say, oh no, change this. And it understands that.
Oh, so that's how you can identify areas to clean up.
Yeah.
Because I know we talked about this in the last episode, but I'm noticing AI has a tough time understanding direction. So, the icon on the far left or the icon on the far right, or, they're like, wait, what are you talking about?
And I see that in Gemini when I'm vibe coding, when I'm making websites.
Yeah.
It has that built in where you can circle either the code, because you can toggle between the code and the preview, or right on the preview, you can circle something and say, oh, no, I don't like this, change it. So that technology is already existed. And I'm starting to see all the individual technologies Google has made is now seeping into all their other tools.
Oh, wait, so you're saying Gemini does have that now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now I gotta play. Wait, with the VO 3 video model?
No, so far it's just when you're coding.
That's what I've seen. That's really cool.
Yeah. What do you got for me?
So, let me ask you: is that a paid subscription? Do you know, or is that the Stitch?
Right now, it's relatively new. It's a lab, so I think that it's
free for
everyone. Yeah.
Okay. So the feature that I'm going to talk about is, unfortunately, it's got a paywall to it. But
Wah, wah.
I know. But I recently got access to a Google package that allows me to do more advanced Gemini, and it gives me access to YouTube. What is it called? YouTube Unlimited?
Oh, YouTube Premium?
Premium, yeah.
No commercials.
No commercials.
It's whatever you're paying for it, it's pay double.
So the as part of it, though, I was uploading videos, and I realized that when you're at this pay tier, you can click on it's called A/B testing. Have you heard of that?
I know A/B testing is for website design.
Yeah.
So if I have a website, I can A/B test it, which means some people look at it will see one version and some people will see the other version. Then I look at the analytics and see.
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying this is for YouTube now?
Yeah. So for YouTube now, I can do a different description, title, thumbnail to see if it's more effective. And then, I can see the results. So I have multiple basically opportunities to do a description and a title and the thumbnail, and then evaluate which one is the best. And then it'll also give me insight for future posts, obviously.
Oh, yeah. So it can inform how you would think about things.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is interesting because your engagement, you never know if you can do better or not, like whatever your engagement is on your video. But now you do know.
Now you can.
Yeah.
Well, with this tier, I didn't even know this existed until
Well, it's been around for like a decade and you've been sitting there like a chump. You're like, oh.
Exactly. I'm like, wait, everybody had this who was paying? What's going on? And then the other two things that I saw, they're both video more related, but I don't know if you got it. Have you seen the Superman? The latest Superman video?
Yes, my wife and I watched it. We really liked the dog. That was the best part.
The dog? Yeah. How about you, Jeff? Have you seen that new Superman?
I have.
You have? What is the dog your favorite as also?
A dog was very good, very cute.
And also Alan Tudyk, when he's like, Gary is a name. so there were a few good zingers in there.
So they just released today, which is, I don't know when you'll be hearing this podcast, but the 11th, the trailer for Supergirl, which do you guys remember seeing her as a cameo in the
like
in the movie?
The end of the movie, right?
She came to pick up the dog at the very end.
Oh, she picked up the dog. That's right.
See, and we bring the dog into it. So they just released that trailer. I don't know. You guys saw it too. What do you think, Jeff? What's your thoughts?
The thing that gets me about most trailers is you don't really know the story. It's just a lot of eye candy.
Mm-hmm.
So I liked the trailer. I just don't understand what's happening or what the story's about, but it looks great. Very dark, a lot darker than Superman.
Yes, and I kind of like that it's going to that darker route. And I think there's the dog.
Yeah, the dog was in the movie.
The dog is in the movie.
The trailer, and thank you for sharing the trailer with me. It's a little gritty, and I love a reluctant superhero movie where you're wrestling internally with, and that's what it looks like for her.
The hero's journey, everyone.
The hero's journey.
The hero's journey.
Is that
Go
Joseph
look
Conrad?
it up. Yeah, go look it up. It's what Star Wars was based on, and many other movies. So the other thing that dropped, we also watched it recently, but Apple dropped the musical tribute to disabled students. So it's called Accessibility, I'm Not Remarkable. And I think it's a great video that shows indirectly how Apple products make life easier for people. But it's really cool the way they have integrated it. I don't know what your thoughts were.
So that's about it's just shy of 3 minutes, and I don't know if that's going to be a TV commercial or if it's just going to make its way on social. But I will say it moved me. Like that 3 minutes was very moving and very touching. And I'm not an Apple person, but I really respected that commercial. I thought it was kind of what the world needs right now.
Yeah, and I think it's definitely a topic that we should touch on, accessibility in the future, and something that we can talk about, because I know that even for our institution, it's something that we're really focused on as well.
Yeah. Accessibility is going to be a huge topic in April of 2026 because of federal regulations, but also, something that we've been paying attention to at the college for a number of years. And I'm very excited to be doing an episode or two about that in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So what's our topic today?
Our topic today is wearables.
Wearables. You mean like Dick Tracy, Michael Knight, or what are we talking about?
Dick Tracy had the little TV watch.
The little watch, yeah.
Yeah, and Michael Knight from Knight Rider had the watch. He was like, Kit, come pick me up or whatever.
That's right.
So yeah, those were early iterations of technology. It's kind of funny when you think about also, the 1950s, whenever Dick Tracy was, which technology that exists in universe that actually comes to fruition.
Yeah.
Like no one was designing that watch, but it happened. And then you look at Back to the Future and you're like, yeah, of course we'll have flying cars and
right. Or the skateboards, the hoverboards.
Oh my God. I would love one of those. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about smart watches. There's all sorts of like health benefits or health monitors. There's the rings that are wearable and patches even. So there's all sorts of good stuff.
And what can we use to define? What do you think we can use to define a wearable? Is it the data tracking? Is it the simple fact that you put it on your person to activate it, or like what? How do you think you would define it?
I would say wearables initially started as a convenience. I don't think that they were originally intended for collecting all sorts of data. Mm-hmm. So they were more of a convenience. If you don't want to have your phone or your phone's in your pocket, you can look at a text message. And it became quite natural to say, oh, well, we can also take your pulse. And then, also we can take your pulse ox, your blood oxygen. Oh, we can also do your blood pressure. Oh, we can tell if you've fallen. So there have been all sorts of medical benefits. And I think Apple's really done a great job leading the charge in all of those and saying, well, we didn't think you could do blood pressure, but you can get pretty dang close. So I'm appreciative to Apple too for doing those. But I would say when we talk about wearables today, we're talking about like the analytics, the data collection, but generally speaking, they were more of a convenience initially.
Yeah. I remember the first Apple Watch that came out and I was thinking, this is amazing. And you can make phone calls with it.
Were you like, oh, Dick Tracy, finally. 70 years later, 50 years later.
The catch was that you needed your phone with you.
Oh, yeah. But then at some point they were like, if you charge $5 a month, you can.
Yes, you can actually get cell signals and you can actually make Wi-Fi calls. So, David, like you said, it's one of those things where they got something out there. It was like bare bones, but it did a lot of things, including tell time. But then with every iteration, it seems to get more and more advanced, and they're realizing they can do more and more things with it. So I really think, obviously, you and I both have you have a smartwatch?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't. I had one and I couldn't take it.
Why? What do you mean?
So this is going to seem odd. I mean, you know me well, so I'm on the bleeding edge of technology. It was just too much, man. I did not want
notifications.
I don't want notifications. I don't want the ability to distract myself. I really just... So this watch right here is like a $10 special that I got at
Casio.
Walmart. It's Casio. It's the world time. I saw it on a TV show once, and I was like, I want that watch, and Walmart or Amazon sold it for $20. I don't like being tracked. And, I'm into privacy and security, and it was just too much. But that being said, I totally recognize the need, and I understand why people have them, and almost all my friends have the smartwatches in some degree or another.
Yeah, I love it.
Tell me why. Convince me.
So I didn't think I was going to like it.
And you have the Apple Watch, right?
I have the Apple Watch. And the...
What version of the Apple Watch? It does make a difference.
It does, and that's where I was going to get into. So I have the Ultra too.
Yeah, I'm curious about that piece too.
So I had the original, obviously the standard Apple Watches, and their battery life was not. Obviously, it's gotten better and better. But at the early stages, it was like 4 or 5 hours, and you'd have to charge it if you were using it, for tracking and all of that stuff. But now with the Ultra, I love this because it's literally, I go about a day and a half, and I literally wear it sleeping. And I'll explain why I do all of this stuff, but I wear it for everything. So the only time I take it off would be like if I'm playing a sport and they don't allow me to wear it. If I'm playing a sport and they allow me to wear it, I track everything. Okay. I'm a big data.
Are you doing stuff with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I just remind me, but I'll tell you.
Because one thing to track yourself, it's another thing to like actually do something about it, make it actionable.
So the nice thing about this is basically, if I'm showering, I'll charge it. If I
Does it charge fast?
It does charge. Depending on the charger you have,
Okay.
it charges faster depending on the power that is being supplied. But so really, I don't ever think about charging it. Does that make sense? Like I just go through my day.
Sure.
And then when I take it off, I put it on a charger. And then when I'm done doing whatever I'm doing, I put it back on. And so I'm not, back then, before this, I used to have to put it on a charger, wait 6 hours or 3 hours.
Yep.
And so in that regards, I really like it. I love the size. Obviously, my eyesight's getting worse as I get older. That's where you say, you're not that old, Paul. No? Okay.
Keep going.
That hurts.
Carry on.
Come on, Jeff. You could have at least said that. Jeez.
Maybe sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Thanks, both of you. So I like the size. I think it's a nice form factor. I know that if you're have a smaller wrist or smaller hand, that's also like you might not like that bulkiness.
Yeah, but can you just light that up again?
Yeah.
The amount of information you can see on it, that's practical and that's usable.
Yes. So. And you can reconfigure the interface however you like, obviously. So it lasts for more data.
That is one thing I like about the smartwatches. That was one of the seductive reasons why I wanted it, because you can customize the face of it. It's like, oh, that is cool.
Yes. Yeah. So the data tracking part of it is what I like. It's actually really interesting when it tracks your sleep. If it does it in a consistent pattern, it will actually give you anomalies. So like 2 weeks ago, it gave me an alert when I woke up that said, it looks like you're getting sick.
Oh no, were you getting sick?
And I was getting sick because it checked my temperature, my heart rate went
That's right,
up.
I can do temperature.
And for women, it actually can detect cycles too.
Really?
So it did say maybe I was on my cycle, but
Did it really say that?
Yeah.
Okay. So
it gives you, obviously it doesn't know exactly what's wrong, but it knows that there is a discrepancy. And then obviously for me, I use it for tracking my like how many steps I do, because I try to one up myself, or I use Peloton and it syncs with Peloton, so I can see my number and I'm like, dang it, I didn't beat it. Like it gives me motivation to like, I got to beat my number.
that would just give me anxiety.
Oh no.
It's like a race to the top, right? Like you're like, well, my number was 71 today. It's going to be 72 tomorrow. Like where do you go from there? 73?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because my wife is like, how'd you do? I'm like, oh, I didn't do great. I didn't beat my number. And it's like, but I like that because I'm competitive. So if I'm not going against anyone, I need to go against myself.
Sure.
So I'm going to try to like, level up. But
and I do see the utility of it. So if you go for a run, you don't need your phone, which is big and bulky, and it does like your watch. Those new watches are like IPS waterproof, and
I put my earbuds on when I run.
Okay,
all my music is on here. I don't carry my phone.
And if you get in a jam, you can call from your phone. And I recognize that utility, and that's nice. But I had a watch, and I was like, oh, I'll be able to turn on and off all the light bulbs in my house with my watch. And I was like, Dave, what are you doing, man? Like, that's not a good reason to get a watch.
Yeah. And so, I think that this is a great step to wearables, but there are a bunch of other things that I know that are coming down the line, like the glasses.
Oh, the smart glasses?
The smart glasses.
Yeah, and I do want to say something about the watch. So
yeah.
I read this book by Andy Clark, and it was written, I think, in the 90s, and it was called Natural Born Cyborgs. And this is actually what was kicked me off on this trajectory of cognitive science and technology. And so this is well before smartphones or mobile phones. And he said, when you walk up to someone on the street and you say, do you know what time it is? They can say yes, even though they might not have any idea. But by the time they turn their wrist to their face and see the watch, they know to the minute what time it is. And he was using that as a metaphor for all sorts of what would become wearables and just our extended mind, like where we can put information. It's not necessarily in our brain, but we have instantaneous access to it.
Yeah.
And so I use that as an example all the time for now we have smartphones that are our second brain, or, Google Docs and Google Drive and all that stuff. We can access information whenever we need it. And so I think it would be interesting to have him rewrite a book about wearables in the Natural Born Cyborg.
That's really cool. Yeah. The whole concept of how it's evolving into it.
Yeah.
And I know, like, so we talked about the watches, and I think these are going to obviously evolve into more and more relevant health. I think a lot of this stuff is health tracking, but I think it's going to be used for another utility, and that is to support glasses. And we can get into the glasses in a minute, but I also wanted to mention that besides the glasses, what is it? There is smart clothing, and there is the rings.
Yeah, the rings that go on. And Google was doing contact lenses for a little while, very specific for if you were diabetic to kind of monitor your glucose levels.
Yeah.
And I'm being informed by a fact checker, Jeff, in the audio room that the book Natural Born Cyborg came out in 2003.
Oh, all right.
So thank you for that.
Well done, Jeff.
Yeah. Yeah, there's rings. There's bracelets too.
Oh, bracelets, yeah.
And Nike had one years ago.
There's the fitness trackers, that aren't necessarily watches. There is a smart clothing. There's I know a lot of, I don't know, would you consider like what the professional footballers wear to track their heart, like the vest they put under their jerseys?
Yeah, that sounds like a wearable. They're wearing it.
Yeah. To track their body, their heat, their temperature, to see if they're putting max effort in.
Which I like the specialized use of it. Like I used to have a Garmin like years ago. It was about like 1 inch by 3 inches. It was huge. It was a brick, and I'd only wear it running. I'd never wear that anywhere else.
Yeah.
But so I like the specialized use and utility of those, or the ones in football helmets, like American football helmets that can track concussions. And
oh, that's right. Yeah. So those would all be considered wearables, you think?
I think so, but when we think of wearables, we think of day to day, but we're talking a little bit about the specialized, like you're wearing them in very specific, nuanced situations.
Yeah. And so I guess this is a good time to jump into the glasses. I know like there are Meta glasses that use Meta AI.
In the Ray-Ban, they teamed up with Ray-Ban.
Yeah, they teamed up. And I guess I just saw this yesterday, but Google it's called Google Aura. And they're developing glasses based on their Android XR, which they just released. So that same ecosystem.
Okay. Yep. That's okay.
And I think they're going to be partnering like Warby Parker for the glasses themselves.
I like Warby Parker's mission driven. I like that. So I'm glad to hear Google's teaming up with them.
And I guess it's really interesting because I saw a preview of what they're doing, and it's going to be a lot closer to, what the Vision Pro and what the Android XR headset.
So more virtual reality?
Yeah, augmented.
Okay,
it's going to be augmented reality, but you'll see more interface in front of you, and you'll have more ability to like watch like full videos.
Yeah, so the Google Glass, which came out like 15 years ago, was just on one of the lenses in the upper right-hand corner of a teeny tiny little TV screen.
Yes.
And I think that's
Google
what the
Glass, yeah,
that's what the Meta one is now.
Yes.
But you're talking about like both lenses will have the ability to project all sorts of information on it.
Yep. And like share the desktop so it could be more efficient for,
Gotcha. Is that going to be like when they show in the Iron Man movies where you can see like,
oh yeah,
it's calculating the threats and the missiles coming in and all that?
Yeah,
that's what I want. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's the direction it's going, and I know people poo-poo the VR, but the VR systems and the all the lenses and the technologies and everything that's going into it, it's like the starting point, right? And now we're integrating it into these other avenues, and augmented reality is going to be, I guess in my head, the way I picture this is right now, if you're doing directions, if you're looking up anything, you always need to have your phone out.
Yeah.
So your phone is always in front of you, versus if you have your glasses on and you can see everything that was on your phone.
And it's like giving an arrow of like, walk here,
go here. Or, Joe just emailed you and I can see what he wrote, and then I can just quickly respond to him either with a voice and this is where the other watch will come in. Like Meta has a wrist tracker.
Oh yeah, for the muscles, right?
Yeah, so you can just
it's like a bracelet.
Yep.
But it can sense which vibrations, like which fingers you're clicking together or something.
Yep, and the direction you're moving. So this way you can kind of write in the air. But if you have a watch, what's to prevent a band from doing it?
Oh, that's interesting.
Because I think with the Apple Watch you can kind of like do a turn and it will.
So you get signals there.
Yeah.
But with the Apple Vision Pro, it has finger tracking, so you don't even need anything on you can like pinch and zoom and it knows what you're doing just by watching your fingers, right?
Yes. And you don't even need to put it in front of the usually you put it in front of your face so you can see it.
Oh, I see.
You can actually just keep it down by your side and just do
that's
what
wild.
you do. But so it's interesting because I feel like right now, the limitation is what the watch was at the beginning. So you need a device. Some people will call it a puck. Some people will call it a phone, obviously. Okay. But you need something else to connect to it. Because
the hardware and the computer can't just exist in the glasses.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Whereas like the Vision Pro, the Quest, the HoloLens I know that's deprecated now, but they're like Microsoft AR,
like gigantic helmets you wear, so it can have the batteries and the computer and everything.
Right. So that's like a self-standing. Whereas these glasses right now are going to be dependent on something else. But I see the potential there. The battery life is going to be horrible. I'm sure it's going to be like 2 hours.
Yeah, because projection is not cheap. Although if you're only projecting certain bits, I bet it's more than 2 hours. That's my guess. Because I think Google Glass was 2 hours like 10 years ago.
Yeah, it might be.
It might be 3 hours.
It might be. Well, we're gonna hopefully get a pair, so we'll see where the Meta glasses and their duration. But I think that's really an avenue to explore, and I think the tracking and I don't know why at some point I picture phones. This sounds weird, but phones going away.
Yeah, right.
And just having a watch.
Just
the glasses.
Listening to you talk, I'm like, oh yeah, like what do we need a phone for now?
Right. Well, because this will hold, and you could put stuff in the band.
I am a little curious. So two things. One, when learners in my class are taking notes on their phone, I'm like, I would never do that. Like reading on my phone is hard enough. I can't be productive on that, so I can't imagine being productive on the watch.
Yeah.
But I also have started doing more and more talking to AI verbally, like Google Gemini when I'm driving. I'm like, oh, this is way better than typing. So I can imagine a future where like almost everything you're doing is easier to do when you're, just talking. So maybe you're right. Maybe you don't need to be productive on a screen.
Right. And so I think that's something that again, we're way out from there, but I think it's something that is definitely coming. And obviously there's those rings as well that you can wear that does all the mood tracking.
Yeah, I think that's also called the Aura.
The Aura. Oh, is it? Okay. But I don't know anyone who has that, but I know that's all data tracking as well, right?
Yeah. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I would love it. Probably in another 10 or 15 years, I'm like, yeah, I want cardiac emergencies to alert the authorities. Or if I fall, I should probably have that now. But I also don't want to be superfluously providing all sorts of data to people about like my own biometrics.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. But I know what you mean. But
it's like
I
an
also
insurance. I don't like paying insurance, but I'm glad that I have it.
But it's, I don't know if you've seen those commercials where people got in a car accident and the watch detected that there was a big collision. And so it dialed, you can set it up on your watch, but it calls 911 automatically. And you hear the phone calls and you hear the people on the, they're like, I just rolled over. I don't know where my phone is. I hear you. And I'm like, holy smokes.
Yeah,
and that was the way one of the Apple events started one year. And I was like, oh.
That's shock and awe.
Yeah, right.
Although alternatively, one of my buddies has on his phone like crash detection or whatever, and it triggered and I got an alert and his mom got an alert and she lives in Florida and she called me. She's like, Dave, like I tried calling him. I don't know where he is. Like what's going on? So like I went to where the car or where the phone was and it was like sitting in the front seat of his car. I was like, oh my God, he's gone. He's missing. But he was just like, he was on a run. He just happened to toss his phone into the car.
Oh, I gotcha.
And so that's probably Apple did not want to start their convention.
Yeah. Well, so, talking about AI, I know that the Meta glasses, all these glasses are going to be utilizing AI. And there's another thing called the Rabbit OS 2. Are you familiar with this?
Well, I knew the first one, and correct me if I'm wrong, was just something you wear around all day and records everything.
Yes. And it's like a little, like a clip, you'd clip it onto to your shirt or whatever, but it was all AI driven and it was all in device. So it didn't need a cloud service.
And that is separate than the whatever Joni Ives is working on with OpenAI. That's going to be some type of wearable device with AI.
Yes, it's different, completely different, but I think it's around the same realm. But
yeah, and I do see the utility in that. Like, it is interesting. You know, a lot of times we're recording meetings and we can get insight from there, but can you imagine doing that? Because I think that's the thing, is like, it will capture everything and it can give you like, can be your memory. Like, oh yeah, you did meet with Dave this day, and here's what you guys talked about.
And you can ask it things, it'll talk back to you. It does have a touch interface to it, but it is, like you were saying, it's more of that discussion, like you're talking to it.
Yeah, and I like it. I don't like that it is intrusive on people who might not want that. So I don't know.
Right.
Like, society's going to have to manage their expectations about this, and there are certainly like legal requirements in different states.
Well, Google Glass, look at what an issue that was.
Yeah,
there was so much backlash that people were wearing this in bars or
they were ahead of their time though.
They were. Oh, I wish it went from consumer to business because there was a business need in manufacturing for that type of wearable, because it can also give you instruction on the fly. So while you're working on a machine, you have free hands and you can say, so, you know, where does this bolt go? And it just and it show you, and, you know.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of practical reasons to glasses and keeping hands free. But what I wanted to also talk about is I think when we're talking about these type of devices, there's some things that we should keep in mind. I know we talked a little bit about this, but, you know, battery is a big thing for people.
Yeah.
So battery life. I know my daughter was she was like, I wanted to go camping over the weekend. Will I need to charge? I'm going to be running marathons.
She has like a Garmin or a tracking watch.
Yeah. So she had an original, just a standard Apple Watch, but it would die because you work all day and then you go on your,
and it has like
3 hour
brilliant LCD screen.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
And, you know, she was using it for notifications and everything else, but she would go on a run, and halfway through her run, obviously it would die. So she was like, you know, I need something else. So, you know, she came up with, have you heard of Koros?
Yep. My wife has a Koros.
Okay. Yeah, but it's got like 32 hours of battery life. And
I mean, so Katie, my wife, hiked the Pacific Crest Trail 2 summers ago.
Yes.
And she got a Koros specifically for that. And I think she only had to charge it every like 2 or 3 days. And she was hiking all like 20 hours a day.
And it tracked your map, like, right? It had the map built into it so you could track your trails.
Yeah, I don't know if she used that feature as much, but she certainly had the analytics. She still used it for sleep. I mean, she used it. That's her everyday carry anyhow. But it tracks sleep. It's a great watch. The battery is fantastic on them. That's what they're known for, I think.
Yeah, and so that's a big factor. So some things that you can think about are, you know, what do you want in your wearable? And right now we're talking about watches, but I assume the wearable would also be a ring. It could be your glasses. It could be clothing. It could be a bracelet. But some things to think about would be, you know, do you want all around health tracking? How much tracking do you want?
Yeah, the thing that scares me is like once insurance companies start getting that data and then they start adjusting prices, you know, maybe I'm wearing my watch and they're like, oh, Dave is just sitting around all day. We should increase his premium.
Right.
You know, like so that's one of the downsides of all these analytics.
That is true. And that, again, you have to keep in mind, I trust that Apple does a good job at security.
Oh yeah,
but
Apple's the best in the biz.
Yeah, but depending on your platform, that's a great point. You know, obviously think about battery life. What are you doing? Do you need it for 10 hours, or are you just using it for 3 hours? Or like, how are you going to use this device?
Yeah, marathon versus like a ultra marathon.
Right. Do you want payments on your watch? So do you want like Apple or Google Pay?
That is convenient though. That's convenient.
It is. I mean, to think like you don't need, I know we go everywhere with our phones, but you don't need your phone all the time, and you could do all of this on your watch.
We went from being wallet driven to walletless with phones, and now we're going to phoneless, like you said, and like everything can be done with a watch.
And there's some devices that don't support it. So again, you have to evaluate, is battery life more important than maybe the pay options?
Sure.
You know?
It's so, I hate making those decisions. What do you want? What do you want? Because you use technology a lot.
I like I love the Ultra because it gives me a little bit of everything.
That's
I use
the
it,
iPhone or iWatch Ultra.
The Apple Watch Ultra. Yeah.
Okay.
because it gives me battery life. It gives me Apple Pay options. It gives me the notifications that I want when I want them.
So you have to customize those so you don't get overwhelmed.
Exactly. So, and again, you have to decide, do you want notifications? Most devices have some type of notification, whether it's a vibration, actual pop-up. Do you want to make phone calls from your device, or is it okay that that's not, an option? Does it need to be waterproof? Does size matter as far as the face of the watch, or, is the glasses too chunky? Are the rings too thick? These are all factors that you might have to think about. And does look matter? I mean, do you care that the glasses are super chunky, or? Yeah,
because the batteries have to go somewhere, like over your ears or whatever.
Right. Or do you care that it's not a circle face of the watch, and
it's a square.
Yeah. Or so, these are all things that you have to figure out. And then is there an ecosystem that you belong to, like the Apple ecosystem or Android ecosystem, and do you want to kind of play within the ecosystem that you're in?
Oh man, I don't. Can people hire you to kind of like be their like watch concierge?
Yeah. And again, we're talking about watches, but it could these things still apply for rings, for wrists, for the glasses. So I think those are things that, practically we have to think about. And then there's some things that are coming out in the future, which I think are interesting. Have you heard of this, Cicret bracelet?
Cicret, that I saw the picture you put in the show notes for today, and it's like a bracelet you wear.
Yeah.
And it has a teeny tiny little projector that can project on your arm.
Right.
Like the face of a smartwatch.
Yep. And then you could just click on your wrist where you see the overlay.
Yeah.
And you can do everything from there. Now, I believe this was fake, but I think you brought it up. We saw MIT doing something with this type of interface in the past, where it's like a projection based.
Yeah, MIT was doing this probably more than 15 years ago. In their human computer interaction lab.
Yeah,
they've done all sorts of things where it has cameras and small mini projectors, and I'm like, oh, that is cool.
Yeah, and so I've seen that too, and I just think like there's something there. I don't know what it is, but there's something there to that type of interface.
Yeah, it's nice that it's small. It doesn't require a screen, but it still gives you all the benefits of a screen.
Yes.
So you don't even need a watch with a tiny screen and worry about the size, because you can make it bigger or smaller, and it's always on you.
Yep, exactly.
So people will have to kind of look that up, the Cicret bracelet.
Yes, and it is fake, so don't buy anything until you really do your research on it.
but it will be like that. I think you're right. We'll see this in the next 18 to 24 months, I bet.
Yes. So keep in mind everything that we talked about. If you're thinking about wearables, the time, the health tracking, the battery life. Do you want to stay in an ecosystem? Do you want pay? Do you want notifications? Do you want to make phone calls? Is it waterproof? Does that matter? Does size matter? Does the look matter? Does the ecosystem that you belong to matter? And really, those are all factors that are going to go into what you're going to buy as far as the function goes of the wearables.
Yeah, and if you need all of those, you just get the Ultra then, because that looks like it has everything.
Well, it still doesn't have the battery life that for the 3-day hiking people that don't. But so that's all the time we have for today. My name is Paul Engin.
And I'm Dave Ghidiu. If you enjoyed our conversation today, please be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's be careful out there.
And share it with a friend or a colleague. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and thanks for looking through the Immersive Lens with us.
This episode was engineered by Jeff Kidd.
Recorded at Finger Lakes Community College Podcast Studios, located in beautiful Canandaigua, New York, in the heart of the Finger Lakes region. Offering more than 55 degrees, certificates, micro-credentials, and workforce training programs.
Thank you to Public Relations and Communications, Marketing, and the FLX AI Hub.
Eager to delve into passion? Discover exciting and immersive opportunities at www.flcc.edu.
As part of our mission at FLCC, we are committed to making education accessible, innovative, and aligned with the needs of both students and employers.
The views expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official position of Finger Lakes Community College.
Music by Den from Pixabay.
This is the Immersive Lens. And there it is.
That's why I do this.
So fire.